There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM. With even more exclusive content, with over 150 channels in your vehicle, including the widest, deepest variety of music, ad-free. Root for your team. Get news. Listen to whatever makes you laugh. And hear all about your favorite stars. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels filled with music and enjoy a favorite shows with SiriusXM Video. Thousands of hours of shows and performances on demand. What you love is on now.
Pioneer, that brand that you've trusted with your source unit and speaker needs for the last couple decades. Well, did you know that they're quite active in the ADAS category because they've got some pretty solid dual channel solutions for dash cams for your customers. We've got product specialists Harry Kroll and Robert Money in the studio with us today to tell us all about it. This is CMA Connected, presented by SiriusXM Pioneer, and it starts now. What's going on, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to another CMA Connected here on CMA Networks, presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. ADAS, Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, and more specifically today, we're going to be focusing on some great dash cam options from everybody's favorite brand, Pioneer, because they make some pretty solid stuff in the dash cam category, and they've been doing cameras for quite some time. We're going to learn all about that. But I think the way to kick off this show, why am I talking? We've got a great video to play, and you'll understand what we're going to cover today. Let's go ahead and roll the tape. All right, so I think that video gives us a really good taste as to where Pioneer sits as far as the important features that has to do with dash cams. But we're going to bring on the specialist to kind of dive deeper so you understand what a great offering and why you should consider having these dash cams in your shop. Let's first bring in, well, if you've seen him before, he's the Senior Sales Territory Manager for Pioneer Canada, Mr. Robert Money. Hey, Rob.
Hi, Ben. How are you?
Very, very good. And this is an interesting opportunity because I'm so used to having this dialogue with you when it comes to sound, right? Whether it's source units or we're talking speakers, we've talked about, the quality of speakers, but the camera category, is something interesting. And I think it's very important that we let dealers know that Pioneer is a serious player in this game.
It's part of the in-cabin experience. It's part of the daily drive needs. So we're not just about entertainment. We're about safety. We're about digital witness, as Harry all the time saying. So it's a complete experience that the customers will embrace with Pioneer. So we're fun. Which is our roots. We are passionate about audio and many things, including 12 volt. But it's also safety. So it's not just about audio experience, but it's more about a driving experience.
And let's, I have to mention this. There is a brand recognition loyalty factor involved here with the Pioneer brand being able to offer other, category products such as the dash cams. And, if there's a dealer and they have a dealer base, which they've built in their region around the Pioneer brand, well, I would say they'd be pretty excited to know that they can add to that in-car experience through the brand that they appreciate in Pioneer.
Yeah, of course. Pioneer is a name that it's in place since years. So it's way more easier for the dealers to explain a product or to offer a product with a brand name recognition instead of trying to sell an idea of a product that the customers don't know the name.
Very good. All right, let's go dive a little bit deeper. We're going to bring in the national trainer for Pioneer, the legend himself, might I say, Mr. Harry Kroll. Please come into the studio. Drum roll.
Hey, Ben.
Legend.
Robert, good to see you guys. Thanks for.
Are you okay with the legend?
Yeah, well, I'm old enough to be a legend. So yeah, sure, man. Thanks for having us on the show today, Ben. Really appreciate it.
No, we appreciate having you, Harry. And before we get into the training portion of it, Dashcam is a serious category right now. It's growing every single month. Exponentially. Insurance companies are hounding customers saying, you want a good premium every year, you need a dash cam in there. We look at trends from Asia whereby manufacturers of vehicles are including dash cams in vehicles. So this is something that's coming here to North America. And I kind of want just to hear your thoughts on this phenomenon.
Well, I think that when you study areas that Europe or in Asia, something like that, where dash cams really took off first, and part of that was about insurance, right? And does cars work in conjunction with each other? One of them pulls in front of you, one of them pulls up behind you. The guy in front of you slams on the brakes, causing an accident, and then they maybe then now they're going to sue your insurance company and get a bunch of money out. Well, they did it on purpose, right? Dash cam is your digital witness. You go through a traffic light, you can see that traffic light is green, you get into a crash, dash cam is your digital witness. You were driving at a certain speed, something like that, and you can prove these things to the insurance company, to the police, whoever needs to see it. Dash cam is your digital. That's what it's for. You love your vehicle, you spend a ton of money on it, spend a ton of time in there. A couple of dollars protects you, protects your license, your right to drive, protects insurance rates, all sorts of different things. That dash cam is really important. Now, it's not easy to get that right away, but you got to think about it a little bit. Protect yourself with a digital witness. As long as you're the good guy, the dash cam on your side.
Yep, absolutely. You said it best there. All right, let's dive into what dealers need to know. This presentation today is broken down into 4 simple parts. We're talking about product, but we're also talking about important features that dealers need to understand when communicating to a customer. And one of these, big factors that we got to get out of the way is image quality. Not all cameras, I'm going to say
Right.
this, not all cameras produce the same image quality. And why is that so important? You know, you can say not all speakers sound the same, but hold on. Speakers have nothing to do with proving an incident at an insurance level. So let's get that out of the way. Image quality is of the utmost importance because if you can't clearly identify what's going on in the frame, such as license plates, such as details, such as, to your point, Harry, traffic lights, road signs, and everything in between, what's the point of a dash cam? So let's go with you, Robert. You know a thing or two about image quality. Talk to us about why that's important.
Actually, image quality is important because it's something that you need to trust. It's not something that you'll have a question mark when it's time to show the proof to your insurance company or someone else who want to see the footage that you talk about. So it's not only one things, but it's multiple things all together that are creating the experience that you will be happy to share the proof, or experience that you will be stressed to share the proof because it's not reliable. So it's not just about one thing, but it's a mix between different type of things. Is, you know, Ari love to do on hobby side photographs. I do video on my side for scuba dive, as you know. And picture quality is not just a matter of resolution, as
Right.
many people are talking right now. It's way more than pictures resolution, especially when you're dealing with still image, but even more if you're dealing with something that it's an activity in movement. So I sent to you different sets of image that I don't know if you are able to share those.
Absolutely.
Actually,
Let's
while
go ahead
I'll
and bring
talk.
up this first one. Here we go.
Actually, that's my lovely wife on the picture. So it's totally different than looking at the license plate, with maybe more appealing. So what what you see right now is the standard exposure of a good image. So it's actually through your streaming. Actually, it's 720p because CMA are streaming in 720p. So you're seeing all the same, and the image reference is the same. So that is the correct exposure, where you can see the detail with the rocks, the dark things, with the shadow area. So if you jump to the next image, which is the exact same resolution, this is 2 step lower. So lower exposure time on the sensors to catch those image. So if you look at the dark area with the dry suit of the scuba diver, actually you're losing detail. Same thing for the rock. If you jump on the next one, that will be 2 step more than the current reference level, where you are losing everything from the top section of the images. You can see the scuba tank detail and the rock. So those 3 images are the same resolution, no difference.
All
It's
right.
just
Okay.
exposure.
So I guess the whole purpose of this exercise here is the resolution, you know, is one thing. It's really, honestly, it's a technical spec, but in the real life situation, which we're going to cover today, there's daytime, there's sunlight coming right at the lens, there is nighttime where it's low light conditions, there's glare from other headlights, there's a multitude of different scenarios that have nothing to do with the resolution of the picture, but more so many other factors, as you've discussed. And you talked
Yes,
about
resolution is this. So you have the exposure time. You're also adding motion in that. So just to give you an example, I will show my card. Look at the time it takes for my camera to do the right focus on the Pioneer logo. So, and I'm not moving it fast, and it took times for the camera to do the right focus, right? So if I'm moving it this way,
it's just not going to track it.
Try to read. So it's another thing. So how fast the processing of the dash cam or the backup camera, no matter the camera is, so how fast the camera is good on performance from the sensor size, the sensor objective, so the lens in front of those sensor quality, and the processing itself. So it's a mix of all these things that will create a good experience or a bad experience. Actually, talking about sensor size quickly, So if you look at this, that's the same thing. Many company are showing Starvis
Mhm.
logo on their dash cam because they are the reference on the market. But actually, there's more than one model of Starvis
Oh, so not
sensors.
all
There's
Starvis sensors are
no,
the same.
yeah. So one thing, but they are the same size. So actually, the size of that sensors that catch pictures, that catch image, is 6.5 millimeters diagonal, no
Mhm.
more than that. So it's that small.
Pretty
If you
small.
compare to, so video guys and me, if you
Mhm.
compare to that things,
Yeah, which is like
this
2 inches.
is this is actually 44 millimeters
Hmm.
diagonal. So that sensors would capture more things quickly
Sure.
than the smaller one. The smaller need to have an exposure time which will be longer to compensate. So it's a world of technical things,
Mm,
but
mm.
the key important things for the customers and the dealers to understand, it's not talk about one things. I know that resolution is the big word for TV, because TV at home are selling with those things, but it's totally different. So again, think about black images, highlight, and those things. If the TV set that you're watching at home are not good to do proper rendering of the quality, no matter if you're looking at full HD or 4K, if the images you see is shitty, no matter the pixel, it will
Yeah.
still be shitty picture.
Yes, understood, understood, understood. And that is the perfect word for it, Robert. Honestly, I don't know how better to explain that. Um, now, and again, I'm going to circle back to this image thing because there's a couple points within these product presentations, and I'm going to round that out for dealers to kind of absorb and think about as they finish watching this particular session. Now, I'm going to toss it over to you, Harry. We're going to first talk about the Pioneer ND BC8, which is the backup camera, which, again, let's be, this is not a new category.
Right.
However, it's important that dealers know about it.
No. Yeah, it certainly is. We talk about ADAS here, and I think that that's a new term that I started hearing around the car industry within the past couple of years. But realistically, you can make a pretty good argument that driver assist have existed for 30 years or so. And you can start that with in-dash navigation. And a lot of people don't understand that Pioneer invented a GPS in-dash navigation back in about 1992 or so. But it was a ridiculous thing. You had this GPS antenna about the size of a football that had to sit on top of your hood or on top of the roof of your vehicle to drive around. But that included an in-dash screen. And it wasn't too much longer that into the mid 90s that we started doing a lot of business with RVs, recreational vehicles, and they wanted a backup camera. And so back in the early 90s is when we introduced our first backup camera. And today we're on the NDBC, the 8th iteration of that product. And there's been some others along the way that branched off into different areas. And we have a lot of experience with backup cameras. First, making them waterproof and weatherproof so they can be outdoors, so you can get a good view of things. But does your backup camera, how to deal with, because if you put your vehicle in reverse and the sun happens to be directly vehicle, are you going to see nothing but glare? And can your camera compensate for that exposure of the sun shining right on it? Or is there a car behind you with the headlights on, maybe 50 meters, 100 behind you, and you have completely glare and you can't see anything? The camera has to deal with that exposure so you can see what's behind you. And does your camera have a good enough low light sensor that when you put your vehicle in reverse and backup lights come on, can it use lighting to give you a clear view behind you? And even when you put your foot on the brake pedal, taillights light up, can you use that red light that from your tail lights to convert that or translate that into what looks like white light for what's behind you? All of those things have kind of evolved over time into the NDBC8 camera that we know today. And that's a very good selling camera. It's been around a long time. It's an RCA output though. So all receivers, every Pioneer receiver that has a screen, by the way, works with a backup camera. So every Pioneer video screen can work with a backup camera. Put your vehicle in reverse, it automatically switches to that and then switches out when you take the vehicle out of the reverse gear. And they're all RCA inputs. And of course, now we should be seeing HDMI input coming into the equation here somewhere along. And so as a manufacturer, we have to kind of gauge how popular is HDMI right now in new receivers, and should we be transitioning over to that and transitioning our receivers over that? And that's all part of the manufacturing and product planning process to kind of find that sweet spot as things. The ND is a super important part of what we do at Start. And of course, in the US, and frankly, I don't know if it's this way in Canada, I imagine it probably is. Back our law now in new vehicles. Every new that you buy has to have a backup camera on it. You know,
but there's a ton of older vehicles that don't have them.
There certainly are, and they should have it. And, you know, when I was, I don't know, 20 or 25 years old, I used to say, if I want to see what's behind me, I'll turn around, you know, and I don't need a backup camera. And I realized how stupid that was when I got a backup camera. It's like, if somebody gets out of your store and you sold them a screen and they get out of your store, I don't know what you're thinking. It is the most automatic add-on that there can be. The most automatic. And right after that, I really think is a dash camera, because honestly, if you drop $1,000 or $10,000 on a car stereo system, how is it you're not adding another $250 on for a digital witness to protect your system? I don't get it.
Well, we do have a video that showcases the ND-BC8. We'll take a look at that in closer detail, and let's play the tape.
This is Pioneer's ND-BC8 backup camera. This is a universal type of backup camera that can be used with Pioneer screens and just about any aftermarket screen. Let's take a look and see what's in the box. Okay, first thing we have here is the camera. And the camera has about 10 feet or so of installation wire included with it, with a connector, so you can install from the rear of the vehicle going forward. The viewing angles of the camera are 105 degrees vertical and 129 degrees horizontal. We also have a second wire bundle here with a connector, and we can install from the front of the vehicle going back. This is about 23 or so feet of wire for a total of about 33 feet of installation wire. And this is the RCA connector that'll connect up to Pioneer in-dash screens that support backup camera, and just about any aftermarket head unit that supports a backup camera, this camera can be used with. With 33 feet of installation wire to work with, the camera can be installed on many different vehicles, from small vehicles all the way to very large SUV type vehicles. We also have some installation hardware, Allen wrench for adjustment, and a couple of owner's manuals in a number of different languages. That is Pioneer's ND-BC8 universal backup camera, and what's in the box.
All right. I mean, it's got everything in the box, everything you need. And I was just thinking about your comment before we went to that video. I don't know how to say this, but other than directly, and I'm just going to reiterate what Harry said there. If you're just upgrading the customer source unit and you realize the vehicle doesn't have a rear view camera, what are you doing?
It's a nonsense.
It's nonsense. It's an automatic sale. Automatic. Period. All right. We're not going to dwell on that, but I did want to totally agree on Harry's statement there. Harry, is there anything else to speak of as far as the ND-BC8 is concerned?
No, I think we're pretty good. But, you know, when you sell a backup camera and you want to do that, you need it is going to match up with the products that you're selling now. The ND-BC8, rock solid. It's been around for a bunch. It's going to get replaced in sometime in the not too distant future. Now, October of 2022, you're not selling that product you got to consider something like it because it's that good.
All right.
And,
We're gonna get
just
sorry,
just as
something to add,
I
Robert?
mentioned, but just as I mentioned, it's the same. No matter if it's a dash cam, if it's a backup camera, or whatever, don't go cheap.
Mhm.
Buy quality. So of course, there's, as you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of Chinese things, or some kind of weird brand name type of camera that you can find on the market. But if you try to save a bit of money, that will create most of the time frustration or bad user experience. So go with
100%.
quality.
Yes, and again, I will be circling back to that on a couple different levels. Now, let's get into some cool stuff. Basically, there's two models that we're going to be covering today. This is the first of two models, and this model is available in Canada that we want to make sure everybody's aware of. It's a 2-channel system, and it's called the VREC DH300D. We've got a video we're going to play, and when we come back, we're going to break it down for you. First of all, I want to say very slick design, and it's got that je ne sais quoi pioneer look and feel to it, which is nice, and I think there's a lot of value there, right? From a shop and a consumer perspective. Oh, you have one.
Just one things, okay? My business card. I'll not
Oh,
show
yep.
my phone number to all the people over the web, but look at the size.
Oh, yeah, pretty small.
So this is actually business card size.
So what are some of the key benefits of the VREC DH300D?
Actually, it's one, something you can trust, not something with gadget or type of crazy fancy things that you'll say, oh, look at my new dash cam. But that is something that you will use on your daily drive things without any stress to lost any footage. So that's the main task of a dash cam. Picture quality. If you look feature-wise, it's a dual dash cam. So you have the rear camera with this swivel adjustment that you need to do with all the connection set. You have the base for that little things that will connect together here.
Yeah, so I noticed that the base can maintain on the windshield, while you can remove the camera pretty easily.
Yes, it's just the sliding like this with the lock features, and once it's done, you're okay to go. If you look at the base with the close-up view with the right focus, see, my stream cam actually will be really a bad dash cam. It's long to focus. So if you look at the USB-C connector on it, it's for the power and the reference, and the way we are doing it through. The reason why we are doing through that base section is the base itself is also electronics and GPS antenna built in.
Oh, so okay,
So
the antenna's in the base and the power's in the base, and you would then connect. I see. Gotcha. Yep, makes sense.
okay, so the good things on that is, one, you save time and headache on the installation to proper install the GPS antenna, and because you have the GPS system built in, that is hard coding the things, and you have it on a transparent layer on the video footage. You have the date and time stamp within the
Which is
video,
important.
as well as the GPS location, which is really important for capturing the proof that you need. So actually there's no needs to be worried about it, and it's clean in the installation things. It comes with the cigar lighter adapter, as we saw in the video. So it's possible for a customers to go in your shop, buy the product with over-the-counter sales, and do the installation on its own. Or if you want to go a bit deeper in the feature and do a cleaner installation, instead of having that wiring dangling with the connection to the cigar lighter adapter, we also have a hardware kit that can be attached to it, so the installer can do the real installation with clean wire routing. Everything's hidden, so no wire dangling in the car. And at the same time, it's not just do a better installation, it's also give to the customers additional features, such as the parking mode we have also as well. So the dash cam with the hardware kit will give you additional features. So it's not just about having a cleaner installation.
You're actually unlocking more features. Okay, before we get to that part, let's back up a little bit. What about ease of use? Like, how would you rank this camera from a user-friendly type of perspective?
That camera actually is the best camera solution, if I can say it this way, for the people who are not necessarily comfortable with technologies. You don't have any fancy things. It's really easy to navigate with it, with the button on the side. So it's real hard button, real physical button. And when you will navigate through the menu on the side here, we will change the different sets of icon based on where you are within the menu, in a way to navigate easily. So it's not a complicated things to navigate through the camera system in a way to do the setting or look back at the information. And the micro SD card here access is pretty easy to do. So it's something that you will install and forget type of thing, because actually a dash cam footage is maybe one of the footage that you don't need to use. So because if you weird, need to use it, it sounds weird, but most of the time when you need it, it's because of insurance. So and that's the reason why I'm saying install it and forget it.
Yep, absolutely. You mentioned hardwire kit. We have a video about the hardwire kit, one of the coolest model numbers. I'm going to say it. It's the RD-HWK 200, or known as the Red Hawk 200. But we're going to play the video, and then we're going to get to a little bit more detail about not only the advantage of having a hardwire kit, like you mentioned, but also something called parking mode. So let's play the video.
Yep.
This camera is Pioneer's VREC DH300D. This is a very small front and rear dash camera, high definition dash cameras, and it operates out of the box with its own cigarette lighter adapter. So this is a very simple plug and play installation for this particular camera, VREC DH300D. Plug it in through the cigarette lighter adapter, and then you plug the power cord right into the camera mount right here, and a very simple install just like that. Now please note that when it's operating from the cigarette lighter adapter, when you switch your vehicle on, the camera begins to record. You drive around, and when you stop and put your vehicle in park, you turn the vehicle off, your camera now stops recording because it's operating from the cigarette lighter adapter. There's no continuous power that comes through there, and so the camera shuts down when you shut off the vehicle. If you want to upgrade your hardwire kit so that you get into parking mode, and then you can have protection and video surveillance of your vehicle while it's in park, you want to move up to the RD-HWK200 hardwire kit. So after you've installed the hardwire installation kit and set the switches on the side of the kit here, you're just going to plug in the power wire right into that same spot on the camera mount, and plug that into place, and you'll be up and running. And when you start your vehicle, you're automatically recording. When you stop your vehicle and switch it off, the RD-HWK200 then goes into either its timer mode or its voltage mode, and will shut down at the appropriate time. And that is Pioneer's RD-HWK200 upgrade hardwire kit for selected Pioneer dash cams.
Honestly, Harry, I don't know how you do that so quickly. How you do that video and then come back here and it's like really, really fast. I don't know how you do that, but congratulations on that point. So that's a hardwire kit, and now let's dive into what parking mode actually means. It's a very, very important feature as far as I'm concerned, which is why I feel that all dash cam systems should be hardwired, because that allows for a parking mode. Harry, maybe you can help us elaborate so people understand what parking mode actually does for you.
Sure. So I tried to explain this a little bit in the video. You drive your vehicle around, then you park it. When you park it, you turn the key off and you leave. If you just have a cigarette lighter adapter, your camera probably shuts off at this point. And if someone is in a parking lot and backs up into you, bang, you don't know who did that. Whatever happens, something you come out and you're at your vehicle in the morning and there's a dent in it. You don't know how it got there. If you have a hardwire kit, you can have a parking mode, and in parking mode, the camera will continue to record. And so the RD-HWK200, or as we like to call the Red Hawk 200, you have options on how long the camera can record for you. There's a couple of switches on the side. You can either set it up as a timer to record for 2 hours, for 6 hours, or you set it up as a voltage option, which if your voltage on your car's battery drops to a certain level, it will shut the camera off in order to protect your vehicle, so that when you come out in the morning, your vehicle will start. Again, that's the number one thing. When you want to protect your vehicle, but you want it to start when you want it to. So, those two things in combination with one another will protect your vehicle and get you as much video footage as you can. So, parking mode like that is super important, because you don't know what's going to happen when you park your vehicle and go into the movie theater or restaurant, or go, you park your street and visit someone for a few hours. You have what's going out there if something went wrong.
Hit and run is all I got to say. Hit and run. How many times have you come back and you're like, what the hell? Nobody leaves a note. Of course they didn't. And
the way we designed it is great also, because
Ari mentioned that sort of thing.
Yes, Ari mentioned that we have the continuous recording, but as an additional layer, the camera itself will do pretty much the same as it does when you do the driving. So if someone hit your car while parked, that will generate an event specifically for that things, and that will give you a couple of seconds before and after that event. So you don't need to look for the specific time of the event. You'll have a file that is specifically matched to
like
to
marked
that thing.
event. Marked event as its own file, so you don't have to go
Yes,
through the
you
whole
have two
timeline.
folder: continuous recording and event recording. So it's really quick to retrieve those good files.
All right, so that's parking mode. Strongly recommended. You're talking to your customer. You're doing a hardwire kit. Here's the added benefit. It's a no-brainer. honestly, for the price of the hardwire kit, and
It
you're
is.
already there to install, especially, you know. Final topic of conversation before we close out. Now, this is kind of a tricky one because it's a super cool product that I can't wait to talk about, but that comes with a caveat because it's available in the US, but not quite available in Canada. Maybe, Robert, you can shed some light on that.
Actually, that cool product you mentioned is that little thing's ear, which is really nice. It's a VREC DZ700 DC dual
They both
camera.
have
So
one. Mine, I don't have one.
yeah. We're talking
Here,
about
Ben.
a dual camera system.
Show us again, Robert.
So this is the VREC. So if you look on the windshield side, on the side, so it's pretty slim design with the swivel camera, so you can do recording inside the car or in front of the car. It comes with the built-in Wi-Fi and different things, but one of the main features and the reason why we don't have it, unfortunately, in Canada, and our friend in the United States are selling it right now, is because of the lithium-ion battery inside of it that work as a UPS system, kind of. So the system can take a fully operational relay, not relying 100% of the time on the car battery itself. And as an additional layer, again, for the parking mode, we have a real full surveillance camera system for the dual camera that will work 365 days a year. So it's not just a basic dash cam that will give you something while you drive. It's really a surveillance system top of that.
Yeah, you're just making me a little bit more jealous by adding all these features that are super interesting. And why is it not available in Canada? It's because of that battery?
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't mention it. So our friend, actually, when we did the design, just right after, so in between the design time and the release time of the product, our friend at Natural Resources Canada changed something in the legislation. So unfortunately, that's the reason why. Mm-hmm. So, but we have something in the pipeline pretty soon for Canadian
that's
guys.
What I wanted to hear. Okay, so having said that, we've got that out of the way. Notwithstanding, this is an amazing product available in the U.S. market. We do have obviously American viewership. So Harry, we're going to play a video. We're going to learn about it, and then I'm going to let you tell us all about the great features of the VREC DZ700 DC. Here's the video. So, Harry, I've got quite a few comments myself on this one, but I'm going to let you go through a couple of the key benefits first, so we can itemize that, and then we'll discuss
Okay.
it. What does this one have to offer?
Okay, this is a dual camera system, right? So here's the kind of the front camera that points out the windshield, and you have a secondary camera here that can be put on the back, windscreen vehicle, but it also could be pointed inside the vehicle. So like if you're a ride share person, that's a side gig for you. Having a vehicle inside it, or having a camera, inside your is really important thing for your protection. Both of these things record in high definition and are recording at the same time onto the SD card. So when you are considering a dash camera, do consider a multi-camera system, or is it only one? Because sometimes when you price shop and price compare, look, this one's this really low price, this one's a lot more. Well, this one includes 2 cameras, does the other one. This one includes the SD card in the box, does the other one, right? This has GPS built into it. Does that number include the GPS? And it has a microphone for recording what's happening inside your vehicle, as well as sounds that may be coming in from the outside as well. So you got to be sure that those things are available to you. And by the way, if you're concerned about any noises that might get recorded inside your vehicle, you can turn the microphone off if you want to.
Why would you want to do that?
Hey, I don't know. Sometimes there's a lot of sound,
Yep.
So we talked about the camera lens just a little bit. The camera lens and the resolution of it are all parts of a bigger picture. And what it's super important to understand is, here's my camera here. I like photography. Let's say this camera is $5,000. I also have a piece of glass on this, right? It's a lens. I call it a piece of glass. And this is also a very, nice piece of glass here, because why would I possibly take a $29 piece of glass or lens, put it on a $5,000 camera? That would make my $5 camera really a $29 camera. All right, because the light, you take pictures with light. All of the light has to come through the glass. Mm-hmm. If you don't pass through good quality glass, you don't get a good final image. And that's the whole story right there, right? Let me put that camera back on there. There we go. So the combination of the lens and the recording resolution and the speed that you can record onto your SD card all add up to a better image. The VREC DZ700 DC also includes, this has Wi-Fi built into it, and there's an Android phone or your iPhone where you can access the videos. And this will be very important to you if something does happen, and we will say it, which could be a crash or something that caused swerve sharply. A deer or something ran your vehicle while you're driving. Any of those things, those events are automatically stored, and you can see the normal drive around on the app. You can see the events that are automatically stored, and you can see your parking events that are happening as well. And this is perfectly capable of taking still images too, and this will sort those still images too. So that's all available to you in the app that's accessible from your phone. So a very high quality camera that provides good quality final images, all accessible from your phone and all in one package. And Ben, I just wanted to point out, I don't know if you know this, but Pioneer has a YouTube channel, and I make some of the videos on Pioneer's YouTube channel. And so as a result of that, I at YouTube stuff and other videos YouTube to see if maybe somebody else is using an interesting technique or telling a good story that also needs to our mix of things to help people understand how the products work a little better. So I look at all sorts of different things on YouTube. And I came across a video the other day that it'll remain nameless in our broadcast here, but this guy did a really interesting comparison of about 9 or 10 different dashcams in the $99 range. And in that comparison, what he showed was, as you're driving down the street, not a single one of these cameras, while his vehicle was in motion and the other vehicles in traffic are in motion, not a single one of them could resolve the license plate of another vehicle. So as he goes back and looks at the video, you can't see the license. You can see a license plate, but you can't make out any numbers. That camera, $9 has been. If you ever need it,
What's the point?
You buy twice.
Yeah, but
Yes.
there's no point in that. Yes,
and I'll tell you this: I'll bet that it's very possible that those cameras had higher on the box than this one.
Maybe so.
This one
maybe so
will show you a final image that is usable, and that's what you get when you buy a Pioneer product: a fine quality build, easy to use, easy to install, and a tool that you can rely on. That's why we're here. This is your digital witness. It is a tool that you can rely on for something that may be extremely important to you.
And just to be clear, of course, the Red Hawk is also compatible with this system, correct?
With
No,
the VRX7
Hawk 200 is not compatible. Okay, so
not.
the DZ 700 DC is the higher end camera. It comes with its own hardwire kit to start with. This is not a cigarette lighter adapter type of a camera. This is a hardwire kit right out of the box.
Right out of the box.
And as a result of that, it's a little bit higher end camera. Yes.
Which is perfect for our 12 volt installer.
It certainly is. No hardwire kit required because there's one included with it. But there's no cigarette lighter included with the 700 version of the camera.
And for the cigarette version, for the customer may be more price cautious. There's always the 300 model available to them.
Certainly, there
and
is,
the system can move up. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make one point something out there. So I've done a couple of these dash cam trainings, as you can imagine. I have to say the design of that 700 model is super slick. The way the screen is incorporated, but more importantly, I don't think I've seen one that has screen, 2-channel, and both cameras in the system are adjustable. That's very interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I think that's something I wanted to point out. So if you're looking for a very flexible 2-channel system, I think the Pioneer 700 model is the one. Okay. Guys, we covered pretty much everything we wanted to cover. We talked about backup camera. We talked about the 2 different models that we have that Pioneer offers. We talked about the potential hardwire kit. And most importantly, this is how I wanted to round out this discussion. Image quality and usable image quality, I think, is the most important thing here. And this is how I'm going to break it down for our dealers tuning in. When your customer looks to you, you are the specialist. It is imperative that you understand the technology so that you can communicate the right advice to your customers. No better way to do this than to actually have a demo of what a $99 that your customer can go buy at the local store in a blister pack, right? Have some of that footage and put it side by side with something like the Pioneer system. The moment the customer sees that, and you already have their car in your bay, they're a pre-qualified customer. And let's be honest, between us girls, dash cam hardwiring kits aren't exactly the hardest thing to install, right? Let's just be honest, it's not.
No, they're not.
You have a captive audience. No, exactly. It's 3 wires, all right? So it's not exactly complicated. But if you show them the footage, I believe that is the key to sealing the deal on a high-level performance-style multi-channel dash cam system like the 700 or the 300 that you have. That's my point. Robert, actually, Harry, what do you think of that? Do you agree with what I said?
I think that's a great point, Ben. Thank you very much for making it. I produce a YouTube video that shows driving around with this camera in traffic, and you can see the license plates of other vehicles. That's not as easy to do for Pioneer legally. We can't be showing other people's license plates and addresses and all this other stuff without modeling releases all parties involved. So we're working on an idea that's going to help us to display that a little bit better. But it'd be very easy for you to take a drive and show a customer what 2 different cameras, what 2 camera overall image looks like. It's not about resolution. If you just compare resolution, find out then this one that will give you quote higher resolution, but it won't give you a better image quality, and that's the difference.
Yeah, go invest in a $99 camera and show them what cheap is, right? Robert, yes. I'll leave you the final word on this.
You invest in another one soon afterward.
Exactly.
I'll just say that buy something you can trust. That's it.
Buy once.
No
Buy
more.
once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too poor to buy cheap stuff.
Too poor to buy cheap stuff. I like that. That makes a lot of sense. Let's round this out, guys. If you're interested in finding out more information on these Pioneer dash cam or camera products, I'm going to put up the website for you guys. It's pioneerelectronics.com. And actually, you know what? We're going to bring that up in a second. First, I want to say bye to Harry because I don't want to keep you on any longer. I know you got other training things to go. Let's do that first. So, Harry, thank you so much for coming in and training us on these dash cams. And we look forward
Ben,
to
it is always it's a pleasure, Ben. I'm happy to help anytime. See you.
All right. Take care, Harry. Now, Robert, now that I have you and I on, let's give the people their information. PioneerElectronics.com is the website to go to find out all things Pioneer, speakers, source units, and of course, cameras. And if you happen
US people, yes.
Yes, US people. And if you happen to be in Canada and you're like, you know what? I'm ready to be a Pioneer dealer. PioneerElectronics.ca, go to contact us. They will direct you to the right person, individual, get you set up. That's what you need to know. PioneerElectronics.ca. Robert, another cool one. Thanks for bringing pictures of your wife scuba diving to illustrate the image.
It's kind of refreshing. It's more sexy than the license plate.
It was also very visual, which I think helps a lot too.
Yeah. That's the goal. That's the goal.
All right. We'll see you on the next one. I think the next time we talk, there's going to be some audio file stuff, and we're also going to cover some pro audio a little bit later on in the year. So looking forward to that.
Of course. Go back to fun part.
This is fun. I don't know what you're talking about.
Take care, it is. It is. Take care. Thanks for your time again.
All right. So that was both Robert Money and Harry Kroll from Pioneer talking to us about some Pioneer dash cam options. If you're interested in ADAS, which I think you are if you're watching this today, then stick with us here on CMA Networks right through till October 12th as we're covering all the brands you can think of when it comes to advanced driver assistance systems. Now, we've got a great contest I'm going to keep on harping about. It's called the Ultimate Fab Experience Giveaway. Head over to cmanetworks.com/giveaway to sign up. We're giving away one trip for a Canadian resident and one for an American ultimate trip. Everything included to Master Tech Expo, where you're going to get your learn on in Arizona next spring. Now, while you're on our website, make sure you check out all other Pioneer videos that we have produced under their playlist or their brand. Check out Pioneer, Harry Kroll. He has his own trainer profile on our website, cmanetworks.com. It's where the 12-volt industry connects. Thanks for keeping it locked here on CMA Networks for this CMA Connected, presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
I mean, yeah, let's talk about today we're gonna go topics.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to SiriusXM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on SiriusXM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?